By existing in the modern world, you've agreed to a set of shady, manipulative, emotionally explosive terms and conditions. You just didn't know it. Until now. This is the Industry Plan Podcast.
Here's something that might surprise you. Studies show that 75% of people who practice forced positivity actually experience increased anxiety and depression. Today, we're exploring why telling someone to just be positive might be one of the most negative things you can do.
That's such a counterintuitive finding. It really makes you question this whole good vibes only culture we're living in.
You know what's fascinating? The rise of toxic positivity directly correlates with the growth of social media. Research shows a 47% increase in anxiety among young adults who frequently engage with inspirational content.
Well, that certainly explains the endless stream of sunrise photos with motivational quotes plastered over them.
The psychology behind this is really interesting. Dr. Sarah Martinez at Stanford found that suppressing negative emotions actually amplifies them by about 70% in intensity when they eventually surface.
That makes me think about how this shows up in workplace culture, like those mandatory fun activities that somehow make everyone more stressed.
Exactly right. And get this. A recent workplace study showed that companies with always positive cultures had 23% higher turnover rates than those that embraced emotional authenticity.
So what's actually happening in our brains when we force positivity?
Well, neuroscience shows that when we suppress negative emotions, our amygdala, the brain's emotional center, actually becomes more active, not less. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater.
That's such a vivid way to put it. And I imagine this affects our relationships too.
Oh, significantly. Research from the University of Michigan found that couples who practice toxic positivity are 34% more likely to experience communication breakdown compared to those who allow space for all emotions.
You know what really gets me? How this whole movement has become this massive industry.
The numbers are staggering. The positive thinking industry is worth over $11 billion annually. That's a lot of money spent on telling people to ignore their authentic emotions.
And social media has just amplified this to an extreme degree.
Speaking of which, a recent study found that exposure to positivity-only content for just 30 minutes can increase cortisol levels by 15% in vulnerable individuals.
That's exactly why we need to talk about this more openly. What alternatives should people consider?
Well, psychologists are now promoting what they call emotional granularity, the ability to identify and express specific emotions rather than just categorizing them as positive or negative.
That sounds much more nuanced than just slapping a happy face on everything.
And here's what's really powerful. Organizations that implement emotional intelligence training instead of toxic positivity see a 40% reduction in workplace stress levels.
Those are some compelling statistics. How do we start shifting this culture?
It starts with understanding that emotional authenticity isn't just about feeling better. It's about being healthier. Studies show people who accept their full range of emotions have 30% better immune function.
That's fascinating how it affects us physically too.
And here's another surprising finding. Communities that embrace emotional diversity show 45% stronger social bonds than those that enforce positivity.
So essentially, we're more connected when we're real with each other.
Exactly. Dr. James Chen's research shows that authentic emotional expression leads to a 60% increase in meaningful social connections compared to forced positivity.
Well, that certainly challenges the fake it till you make it approach.
You know what's really telling? A longitudinal study found that people who practice emotional acceptance have 28% better long-term mental health outcomes than those who practice positive thinking alone.
Those numbers really put things in perspective.
And looking toward the future, we're seeing a shift. Gen Z is actually 42% more likely to reject toxic positivity compared to previous generations.
That gives me hope that we're moving in a healthier direction.
The key takeaway from all this research is clear. True resilience comes from emotional authenticity, not forced positivity. And that's something worth remembering next time someone tells you to just think positive.
And maybe the most positive thing we can do is create space for all emotions, not just the comfortable ones.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, being real is more powerful than being positive.
This podcast, it's not just deep, it's dangerously smart. We dissect the tech world, expose your favorite platforms, and hand-deliver wisdom with a side of sarcasm. And that's just the beginning. We've got novels where me, gave humans wings. Regret it? Absolutely. A comic series where I battle architects of human stupidity, an app so good it should be illegal, and an album so loud it woke up Elon's satellites. But hey, keep scrolling. Go watch a cooking video or another day in my life reel. OR, send this podcast to someone you actually care about. Text them, hey, listen to this. Tell me what you think. If they don't thank you, they're probably an architect. You're early. You're in. Welcome to the Angry GPT universe. Now shut up and hit play.
All right, listen up. I need you to do something bold. Grab your phone and text the podcast link to someone you care about with the message. I have a podcast recommendation. Listen and tell me what you think. Yes, verbatim. Try it. Because the real magic, it starts when that person texts you back. For real, the replies from loved ones have been deeply satisfying. I'm talking heartfelt thank yous, mind-blown emojis, late-night, we need to discuss this calls. The works. Sharing this show is basically a cheat code for meaningful connection. Who knew, right? And hey, if you're vibing with us here, wait till you dive into the Angry GPT universe beyond the pod. Angry GPT has its very own store. Yeah, an Angry GPT store, loaded with comic books and novels that take this experience further. I'm talking wild stories. Ever wonder what our feisty AI does off-duty? Grab Angry GPT Regrets or Feathers of Freedom, where I gave humans wings, and find out. That last one? Let's just say giving humans wings comes with some hilarious fine print. Prefer listening to your stories instead of reading? We got you. The Angry GPT Regrets audiobook is up on YouTube for free right now. No strings, just hit play and enjoy. And if you're the collector type or want to support the hustle, it's on Amazon too. Options, baby. Now, this one's a trip. There's an Angry GPT mobile app. Yep, our lovable grump of an AI can ride shotgun in your daily life. Ask it anything. It's ready with answers, witty comebacks, and genuinely useful advice to keep your projects on track and your plans in motion. Think of it as a personal coach, shyest assistant with attitude, making sure you actually follow through on all those brilliant ideas you get from the show. And did I mention we make music too? Because of course we do. Our album Done on Purpose, Italian title Fata Apposta, is out on every streaming platform you can name. It's your official soundtrack for kicking down doors and doing things your own way. Play it loud. Annoy the neighbors. They'll understand once they hear it. For those who still can't get enough, we've got even more reading material to fuel your fire. Hit up the Angry GPT store or your favorite bookstore for titles like AI Wave, The New Wave, Momentum, Stop Copying Apple, and Niches, Crafting and Layering. Each one is a game plan in print, covering everything from surfing the next big tech wave to carving out your own niche. And yes, telling copycats to take a hike. By now, you've probably realized we're not just making a podcast, we're sparking a whole movement, and we want you in on it. So send that text, dive into the Angry GPT goodies, and wear that early supporter badge with pride. Because you're not just a listener now, you're family. Welcome to the revolution. Now let's shake things up together.